Hi, I'm Rhiannon Griffiths, the 5-Element Wellness Woman. I am a traditional acupuncturist, coach, and creator of the 5-Element Life. So we are in eclipse season and it's pretty big. There are 3 eclipses this time when normally there are only 2, and most of us are feeling it in one way or another. I know my patients certainly are, and I most definitely am right now. I've been having a lot of chats about this in clinic and talking about this sort of emotionally itchy kind of energy that so many of us are feeling right now. We have this knowing that there are big shifts and big changes happening or about to happen, but we don't know what they are necessarily, and things aren't yet moving forward, and we have to wait, which is really uncomfortable. And that sort of itchy, uncomfortable, restless energy, that is wood element stagnation. The frustration at having to sit still, having to wait, not knowing what's next, and not being able to see what is next. Not having the wood element's virtue of vision, that's how we view it in Chinese medicine. Not being able to have that vision of the future, not being able to see the bigger picture yet. You know, there's a reason for that old saying that you can't see the wood for the trees when we're unable to see the bigger picture of things, when we can't see it, we're too in it right now. That saying really resonates with the fact that it's all wood element energy in Chinese medicine. That cross, frustrated, impatient, and irritable feelings, all of those feelings, they are all the domain of the wood element. That wanting to shout, hurry up, to the universe or to the moon or to the eclipses, whoever you want to shout it to, that is wood energy. You want the next step to be revealed, but it's being too slow and it's too uncomfortable to be in this kind of itchy restlessness energy. And whilst we aren't in spring right now in the Northern Hemisphere, which is when we usually might feel this kind of energy within us and around us, as spring is the associated season of the wood element, have a think about how we have to sit and wait in winter before we can actually see the growth of shoots and buds coming through the ground. And in some years, that wait can feel like an eternity. It's almost like we don't actually trust that the spring is coming after winter. And we can get really impatient and frustrated during this time. That's the essence of wood energy, and that's essentially what we're feeling now. We are impatient and frustrated that the next step, the next season of our lives is taking so long to reveal itself and move forward. It's the same energy we have here now, although in a slightly different context. And yet, it's potentially no surprise that as this eclipse energy, the bigger planetary alignments, as they ask us to make big changes right now, they ask us to grow and to expand and to evolve, to align with bigger growth in our lives, to push through the stuff that is illuminated in this eclipse season, to flow with whatever happens, to not resist or block things that are changing during this time. And this is a time of crazy big shifts. All of this energy, all of this pushing through, this growth, this change, All of this is what we recognize as wood energy in Chinese medicine. It is about the flow of energy. The wood element organ of the liver ensures that we have good and correct flow of energy within and throughout our bodies and throughout our lives as well. So if we are not in flow, we get stagnation. When we resist, we get stuck, and this creates stress and pain, which may be the kind of space that most of us are in right now. It feels quite stressful, it feels a little bit painful, it feels confusing, it feels difficult. And all of this is what the planetary stuff, the new moon, the full moon eclipses, the season of the 3 eclipses, it's the fact that they are asking us, or actually maybe even forcing us, to get into flow, to get into alignment, to have more flow in our lives, to leave behind the stuff that has been creating stagnation in our lives, things that we've now outgrown, things that have been causing us pain perhaps, and the things that have not been allowing us to flow in the way that we're meant to. The eclipses are asking us to get out of the sameness, out of the stuckness in our lives. And that's on every level, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And this is what the wood element energy does and is about and helps us to do as well. It is the tree. It is the wood element at its finest. It is growth, it is upwards and outwards movement. And this energy, this theme, this way at the moment is for all of us right now, whatever element type you are, not just the wood element type people. This is what we're being asked to do, and the energy that we're being asked to work with right now, this woody energy. Whatever element we are, this is what we're being asked to work with. So what can we actually do now in this weird sort of restless, itchy waiting time? What can we do to move this stagnant energy if we still can't yet move forward? Because we do kind of have to wait right now. It is slowly moving forward, but we still have to wait a little bit, because for quite a lot of us, myself included, we don't actually know what's next yet. So what can we do? I do go through breaking down some of our big visions and our big plans into smaller and easier steps to help us reduce this overwhelm and this itchiness that we can have with the wood energy. And it allows us to move forward more easily. And I go through this in my online spring wellness course. But for today, honestly, just to focus on one small thing that you could, and I'm not saying you have to do it, but focus on one small thing that you could do today to move forward. And it can be a tiny thing, but just starting to shift some of that stagnant chi, that stagnant energy, that weird, itchy uncomfortableness, that will help you to feel better right now. And it is actually really hard at the moment, because none of us, and I include myself in this, none of us really know what is next for us in this eclipse season, and what the big vision or big change in our lives is actually going to look like. In a couple of months' time, our lives are probably going to be looking quite different. So I know how kind of paralysing that is at the moment. So if you can't even take one tiny practical step forward right now, because it's just too unclear, really just focus on moving the stagnant chi in your body and in your emotions. And in Chinese medicine, we have ways of doing this. So we can do this by simply doing something as straightforward as drinking hot lemon water or green tea, because both of those move qi in the body according to Chinese food energetics, or actually physically move your body. Walk, dance, do yoga, stretch. All of these move qi physically in the body, therefore moving qi emotionally in the body. They are totally interlinked, and it will help with this itchy restlessness. So if you can't do something with the big life stuff yet, do one of these teeny tiny small things to shift the qi and get some sense of flow back into your life again at the moment during this kind of weird waiting time that we're in right now. And obviously, I must really say that I am not an astrologer. I have some amazingly talented people that I consult about astrology in my life, and also online. I follow some amazing people, but I also have some amazing friends that do great astrology work. And so I'm not talking about this in terms of being an astrologer, but Chinese medicine wisdom very much has the as above, so below school of thought. We are very much interlinked with nature and heavens. We have heavenly qi, and we have the importance of balancing our connections to the heavens through the metal element, as well as balancing our connections to the earth, both the literal earth, the ground, as well as the earth element itself. So this is how we can really live a 5-element life, and how we can live in alignment and flow and understand what's going on around us, and understand what's going on with our bodies and our emotions and how we're feeling. We can see what the energy of the moment needs, or what it's actually asking us to do, what it's asking of us, and we can adapt or live accordingly, even when it's challenging, and even when it feels itchy, and even when you don't really know what you're doing, because as long as we let go of the resistance and we remove stagnation, we use the wood energy to get that going again, and we embrace the flow that can come on the flip side of the wood element, the other side of that irritation, we have balance. And in Chinese medicine, balance is key. Balance in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotions, in our souls, on our soul's path. The key thing is balance. So yeah, I probably rambled on a little bit longer than I intended to here, but I really hope that this has been helpful for you and maybe gone some way to explain some of the stuff, some of the emotions and the things that are maybe going on in your body, some of the stuff that you've been feeling or wrestling with these past couple of weeks as we've gone into this eclipse season. And let me know. Let me know if you'd like me to do more of these kinds of element videos for you. More about kind of how we see the elements in our day-to-day lives and how it affects us and how we can work with it. So yeah, let me know in the comments or reach out to me on email. I'd be really pleased to hear from you. Sending heaps of goodness and lots of luck for the eclipse season, and bye for now.